What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. Sometimes on Sunday afternoons, you are just in the mood to chillax it out. So here we go with another Sunday chill build. This one is going to be able to clear pretty much everything in Chaos 10, with the exception of Siege Rollers. Draken Lords will be automated. You will have to get out there and kill some Siege Rollers, but besides that, you can just let the map run. So as you see, here we are on Chaos 10 Crumbled Bulwark. We're on wave 4. Because I didn't want this video to go 20 minutes, and I do want to talk about a few different items on the build. Now, first things first, as you see, we are taking advantage of the glorious poons from the Squire. The Squire's Ballista is our target for today. Using Burning Bolts, Piercer Servo, and Defense Rate, and then double stacking Destruction and Mass Destruction, and going with Oily Harpoon. The Oily Harpoon, I think, it's got some room on it. You don't necessarily have to use that one. However, it does add a little bit of automation into the mix if you do use it. So the Ballista, of course, being a projectile, does require Piercer Servo, though, so you are going to want to have that. In addition, we're using training dummies, Juggernaut, Automation, and Auto Repair System, with Accumulator, Protective Downgrade Servo, and Hardened Servo. Now, the deal with this one, first off, Crumbled Bulwark's just a great farm map, as you're going to get some clusters out of the deal. This one, you can do 3 poons per lane, but there's actually a lot of room to play. So, as you see, I've got it set up with a training dummy down here, 3 balloons, 3 ballistas, a Boostara, we got Destructive Pylon on our Reflect Beam, and then a Buff Beam, of course. Now, there is some variance with this build. The first time I was doing this build, I was moving the walls down here, and then I would share a Buff Beam going with one other node and the Boostara by having ballistas over here. Now, the problem with that is with ballistas, you really want to take advantage of their pierce. So you want to be hitting enemies in a line, passes through one enemy, hits another one. With the setup over here, the ballistas were kind of aiming down into the corner there. So the shots were just going into the stairs. As enemies were building up. Even by moving these up, the shots were still going off at a weird angle. So I kind of feel like this ended up being the best place for ballistas. And just to help secure the deal, I got an all-for-one Skyguard as well. Going with Controller, Defense Range, Defense Rate. The main thing here is I'm stacking all-for-one and Deadly Strikes, so I got crazy range. We are at the max range on here. Now, you got some room on this one. So say we got rid of that Skyguard, and instead we moved it over here. Well, we're going to get the same benefit, right? Because we got the pylons, we got the Buff Beam. So the Skyguard here would do the same thing. Of course, we could move the Reflect Beam in front of it. That's going to leave 80 DU left. Well, 80 DU is enough for 2 more harpoons somewhere. It's enough to... you couldn't automate every lane with it, with like gargoyles. That way you're siege roller proof as well. But it does give you a little room to play on the available DU. So, pretty good stuff there with leftovers, and leftovers are always a good thing. Let's, actually, I already upgraded the Skyguard. Why on earth did I take that Skyguard all the way up? So we'll leave that Skyguard unprotected. Or you know what? I'll throw... Hey, screw it. We'll leave it unprotected. We'll just let it hang out there. And in true Sunday chill build fashion, we are going to chillax it out over here. And let the poons do the work. So, taking a look down below. This below is the perfect ballista lane. Literally. I mean, the enemies are basically on a flat, straight line, all lined up one behind each other, so the poons are going to just wreck faces down there in the bottom lane. Right here, we got some angles, as we are going to be shooting down or shooting across, yet we have a fairly straight lane as well, so You get lots of double, triple, quadruple dipping, etc. out of your poons. And then up here is like the one sketch area. Now, it clears it without any issue. But what I mean by the one sketch area is you can get a lot of buildup. Luckily, the training dummies are just absolute beasts at healing themselves. So you're going to be able to heal through just about anything available. You see the Cyclone Shaper just got completely melted there. Harpoons do good. Harpoons do good. Now, I think for the last wave, just for science, we'll yoink that oily harpoon. And let's try using it without the oil. Now, in that situation, I believe I don't think the ignite from the burning bolts is going to clear a Dragonlord shield. Not positive on that one. It may or it may not. And the oil is what really helps out with that form of ignite for the automation. But, I mean, we see everything just dead. Malthius is just getting slapped. Now, what we can do if we got rid of the oily harpoon... Now, you know, to be honest with you, I normally use the oily harpoon. But I do want to try something without it in a final wave and see how it would go. So let's take... let's get rid of oily harpoon. Let's actually look at these guys. Let's see what kind of juice we got on these things. Alright, let's upgrade this one all the way up. Take a look at it here. So it's giving us 5 million tooltip DPS. 36% crit chance for 155% crit damage. I think that is our one weak area. So let's try this. Let's get rid of Oily Harpoon. And instead, let's put in a power transfer. You see, that gives us a nice boost in tooltip DPS. Lowers the health of them, which we don't really care about. But that takes us up to a 74% crit chance, which should be a little bit friendlier there. Let's see how this one runs without the Oily Harpoon. Hopefully we get a Dragonlord, and we can check that. We did not get a Dragonlord. Let me know down in the comments below if you know on that one. Will Burning Bolts? Will the ignite from Burning Bolts? Oh, you know, it's extra fire damage, so no, there will be no ignite at all. So without Oily Harpoon, we will not ignite enemies. Now, the ignite is actually giving us a hidden damage boost, not on the tooltip. Where, like, we went from 5 million to almost 7 million tooltip DPS, which is, what, like a 40% increase in damage? So, in theory, the power transfer would be slightly better, because the Ignite's going to give us a 25% boost in damage, but it also automates the Dragonlord. You know what? I think I would use the Oily Harpoon anyway. It's just quality of life. You know, give yourself all the quality of life you can. I think we're going to test this one, though, just for this wave, just to see how it goes. It is more damage using power transfer over the Burning Bolts. I mean, it's still igniting. Well, we don't have a Dragonlord to test this one. But, I mean, it's clearly still igniting. Did I not put it in? Or did I pull out the wrong shard? I thought I pulled out the oily. I mean, obviously, we're not getting the ignitions like we would with the oil in the mix. I don't know. That's a tough call. I mean, I think, as you can see, I think it's quite viable either way. I think there's more quality of life involved if you get the oil on there. But it's still just, I don't notice any difference. I don't think that damage increase was enough. Enough of a damage increase. to really notice a difference. So, I mean, I personally would probably stick with the oil. Back and forth, right? I think I would stick with the oil just for pure quality of life. Plus, you know it's a proper ignite because you got the oil and fire mixed. But the enemies are still pretty clearly being ignited here. Check out old Quibs. Quibs should get just slapped quick like. Yeah, Quib's down already. Just annihilated. So no Drakenlord to test this one out on, but I mean, pick your flavor, y'all. It's doing pretty damn good either way. It's just shredding everything. Once again, it's not Siege Roller friendly. Using the oily harpoon, of course, it will be Drakenlord friendly. And then here we got what would end up being a timeout if you were full AFK. Like if you weren't in the room and this was just running, these enemies would end up timing out eventually. So definitely, I mean, on second thought, maybe scratch this whole build. Or move the... I don't like moving the walls down here. Now, we do have all that extra DU as well. So if we would have put that reflect beam or the buff beam an extra node over here, we could have put another one up here. And with the diffusion on the reflect beam, I think it would hit that enemy. Like, let's just check it real quick. Still not enough. Oh, actually, or no, that was just hitting a straggler. So yeah, we would have to do something. I think it's back to the drawing board on this one. Obviously, the build is very, very AFKable, but if you get a ranged boss like this, it's just, you know, it's not going to be worth it. Waiting for mobs to time out is never any fun. That is for sure. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and slap that one. So, I guess back to the drawing board on this one. I like the concept of it, and I think the ballistas are, although they're nowhere near DD1 ballistas, I will say that every time, as I've been saying for a decade now. They're not crap compared to DD1 ballistas, but they're still pretty darn good. So they can pack a punch and get the job done for you, but we're going to have to think of something different on this one. Maybe even, yeah, I don't know. But anytime there is a stuck mob issue, if you're doing a chill build where you're really going to grind it out a dozen times or whatever, you're going to want to make sure to deal with that. Like on Wildest West, you can put like a fissure on the stair at that one lane that gets busted. In fact, I guess you could do the same thing here. Just throw anything on the ground here. I mean, for that matter, you could even have just done this. And for the most of the lane, the Flamar is not going to do anything. But when it got to those final stuck mobs, it would be something there to do damage to them, to burn it out. So I think there's a few choices here on things to do, but this one I'm not going to add to the playlist, as I feel like this one is maybe a little bit suspect there. But anyway, thanks a ton for watching, y'all. Just another Sunday chill build. This one's definitely still got a lot of chill value to it, but just a little bit sketchy. But thanks a ton. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful weekend. And I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.